Good morning. We are just going to give folks a moment to come in from the waiting room.
I just need help putting that.
As a reminder, when you are entering from the waiting room, please do remain on mute unless or until you are presenting before the board. Let's give another moment to make sure folks have entered from the waiting room and are connected to audio. Good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Wednesday, March 29th, 2023. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. Before I review procedural matters, I will introduce Chairwoman Kathleen Joyce.
Thank you, Danny. Good morning. My name is Kathleen Joyce. I'm chair of the Boston Licensing Board. Today, I'm pleased to be joined by fellow commissioners Liam Curran and Commissioner Kiana Saxon.
Thank you. Please ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly. I will call each item in the order that it appears on this morning's agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the applicant. You will then make a brief presentation regarding your proposal, followed by questions by the chair and commissioners. Following questions, there will be testimony, beginning with elected officials or their representatives. Please limit your testimony to 2 minutes, and please state your name, address, and affiliation, if any. Begin with the first item on this morning's agenda, calling item number 1, South Bay Cookies LLC, doing business as Crumble Dorchester, located at 25 District Ave in Dorchester. Has applied for a common victular license to be exercised on the above. 2 rooms on the ground floor with an open concept kitchen, storage in the back, and restroom for employees only. Manager Jessica Gariano, hours of operation 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Attorney Laura Kaplan. Attorney Kaplan, are you with us? Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Oh, good morning. I'm present for myself, Jessica Gariano. I'm the owner of the franchise there in Dorchester. And yep, it's a standard crumble cookie location. I also own the one in Saugus on Route 1, so very familiar with the business and all aspects of managing it. We'll be located there right in South Bay Center, in their residential, mixed-use residential retail section that they just finished building out next to Wahlburgers. We sell cookies, milk, and water. And you can get a single 4-pack, 6-pack, or party box. We also offer catering. So for any large parties, I've done cookies up for Encore there in Boston Harbor for 5,000. So a large production, little cookie factory there. I plan on having initially about 50 employees, and then we'll see where our volume is at. We really like to be involved in the community, so I'm really excited to partner with schools for their sports fundraisers and local sports teams and that sort of thing. And my husband and I just really love doing this. We're big believers on promoting from within, from our staff. We really love this business and love what it does for the community and how excited people get for it.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us today, Jessica. The hours you're requesting are 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Will those hours be open to the public?
So we are open for the public 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and then 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday. We're closed all day Sunday.
And how long have you worked? How long have you owned the one in Saugus?
We've been open for 16 months now.
Okay. And all the cookies are manufactured there, is that correct?
Correct. They're made from scratch in our kitchen.
Okay. Thank you very much. I don't have any other questions. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, do you?
No questions. Thank you.
No questions for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Ross Cochran with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed their community process. The applicants met with the local civic group and had the full support of the civic group and community. At this time, we'd like to defer to the board's judgment. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 2, V Healthy LLC, doing business as V Healthy, located at 4166 Washington Street. Has applied for a common victular license to be exercised on the above. First floor open space with smoothie bar, office, and handicap accessible bathroom, janitorial closet. Manager Rosemary Vales. Hours of operation 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning. My name is Hayden Velez, co-owner, also Rosemary's husband.
Great. Thank you very much. If you could please just briefly present your concept and proposal to the board.
Yes, as you mentioned, I'm here representing V Healthy. V Healthy is going to be a healthy cafe located, as you mentioned, at 4166 Washington Street in Rosendale. Our goal is going to be to provide a healthier options for the community. That being energizing teas as well as healthy smoothies. It just gives people other options just to stay healthy, get the energy that they're looking for. Similar to what Jessica had mentioned previously, one of our primary goals are going to be investing in the community, working with schools as well as the other small businesses in the area, especially because it's springtime and summertime. There's going to be a lot of people using some of the parks there. We want to really create a community as well as reaching out to any of the sports teams that are going to be playing there, and just offering these smoothies as well as energizing teas just to help as they're working through whatever games that they're having.
Thank you very much. We'll see if there are any questions. Chairman Joyce, any questions of the applicant?
My only question is, do you have any seats at this location?
Yes. So we're licensed to have 19 people there. So the 19 is going to be including myself and my wife. So obviously we'll have no more than 17 other seats for people that would like to sit there and have any communication with us there.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any questions. Commissioners, do you?
I do not. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any individuals who would like to testify in this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office likes to defer to the judgment of this board. Due to personnel changes, we don't have a lot of information on this proposal, but our office is unaware of any concerns at this time from the community. With that, we defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you, Connor. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you. Calling item number 3, Bennington Street Donuts LLC, doing business as Dunkin' Donuts, located at 951 Bennington Street in East Boston. Holder of a common victular license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from in one room on the first floor with kitchen in the rear, storage in the basement, to in one room on the first floor with kitchen in the rear, storage in the basement. Also to include an annual outdoor seating on private patio with seating for 12, same closing hour, as well as a drive-through window. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Yes, Nicholas Jenkins, I'm present.
Great, thank you very much, Mr. Jenkins. If you could just please briefly present the proposal to the board.
Okay, well, we took ownership of this Dunkin' Donuts on August 13th of 2021. When I went to apply for the common vic license, I checked off that there was an outdoor patio. It was existing to the business from 2014. But I found out that the city of Boston didn't have any record of it. So we proceeded without the patio on the common vic application. We closed the patio, and it's taken me about a year to dig up and find all the documents. I went to the Board of Appeals to get a document back in 2014. The previous owners had filed an appeal with the city of Boston because they had wanted to construct a drive-through with outdoor patio seating. It was approved, it was built, it was existing, but I guess something slipped through the cracks where it was never updated on the common vic license. After I got all those documents, I went to the Inspectional Services Department. I just got issued a new certificate of inspection that shows that we have 24 indoor seats and 12 outdoor seats that were approved back in 2014. I have the updated certificate, but I'm going through the process now. So we have the correct common vic license to include the outdoor seating in the drive-through that's been there since 2014.
Thank you, Mr. Jenkins, for that explanation. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Carr, Commissioner Saxon?
None for me. Thank you.
No questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Oh, Connor, I think you're trying to speak, but you're on mute.
Thanks, Danny. Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office likes to defer to the judgment of this board. As you heard from the applicant, this was previously pre-existing. We're unaware of any concerns to the community. With that, we defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 4, Starbucks Corporation doing business as Starbucks Coffee located at 850 River Street in Hyde Park has applied for a common victular license to be exercised on the above 2,560 square feet of ground coffee bar, back room, dining area, 2 public restrooms, also to include a drive-through, an outdoor seasonal April to November patio on private property with 44 seats, same hours as the restaurant. Manager Lorena Nunez, hours of operation 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Thank you. My name's Daniel Brennan. I handle permits and licenses for Starbucks. Thank you for having us, Madam Chair, board members. We're here for a new Starbucks drive-through coffee shop going over at the shops at Riverwood. It's going to be a single tenant freestanding store. It's currently under construction. We did have some neighborhood meetings with the Roseberry Ruskindale Road Neighborhood Association, the Community Input Advisory Board, the East River Neighborhood Association, and an abutters meeting. We plan to open May 12th. We have 47 seats inside, 44 seasonal patio seats. After our meetings, we were made aware that back when the developer was building out the project for our shell, he had some reduced hours of what we had proposed, though they weren't necessarily brought up during our neighborhood meetings. So we've agreed to reduce our proposed store hours to be 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. out of respect for the conversations that were done with the developer before we got involved. We may later, once we open, see how things go, apply to extend those hours, but we would like to amend our application to show 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week.
For that, Chairman Joyce, any questions?
No questions. Thank you very much.
Commissioner Carr?
No questions. No questions for me. Thank you.
Commissioner Saxon?
No questions. Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. This is Danielle Fonseca with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, our office would like to defer judgment to the board. The applicants did complete the community process, and I hosted an abutters meeting that was held on March 15th. As Mr. Brennan stated, they have also met with several neighborhood associations, community leaders, and neighborhood stakeholders, including the Community Input Advisory Board. They've worked with the community with coming up with an appropriate time for hours of operation. They do want to be active in the community and support neighborhood groups and events in Hyde Park and give the community groups a place to meet. The community seems to be in full support and very excited about Starbucks coming into Hyde Park. We've received several letters of support that have been sent to the board for review from neighborhood leaders and associations, and no letters of opposition. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other elected officials or their representatives who would like to testify before we move to general testimony? I do see 2 hands raised. I will first call on Lokita Jackson. Ms. Jackson, if you could unmute yourself and please provide your testimony.
Sure. Lokita Jackson, co-chair of the Roseberry Ruskindale Road Neighborhood Association and chair of the Community Input Advisory Board. Just underscoring exactly what Daniel and Danielle said, we are in full support and excited, and we appreciate the fact that Starbucks is coming to our community and that they were willing to work with the community regarding those hours of 5:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I see another hand raised from Helena Tong. Apologies if I mispronounced that, but you may also unmute yourself and please provide your testimony.
No problem. Thank you very much. My name is Helena Tung with Belknap Family Neighborhood Association. My neighborhood association is one of the associations that directly abuts the Starbucks, this particular Starbucks. I want to go ahead and co-sign what Ms. Jackson said, as well as Mr. Brennan has said. I also want to add a little point to what Mr. Brennan said, and that is if there is amendment done to the hours of operation, we had previously asked that they meet with the CIB as well as the surrounding neighborhood associations so that we're aware of what they are looking to change so that we can get that information out and they can receive feedback and comments from the community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item number 5, the Scoop and Scootery number 3 LLC, doing business as the Scoop and Scootery, located at 360 Washington Street in Brighton. Holder of a common victular license has petitioned to amend the closing hour of the licensed business from Tuesday to Saturday at 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. to Tuesday to Saturday 1 p.m. to 1 a.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning. My name is Austin Crittenden. I'm the owner of the Scoop and Scootery, and I'm representing us this time.
Thank you. If you could please just briefly present the change you're proposing to the board.
Sure. So we offer ice cream sundaes mostly. We're pretty much a standard ice cream shop. We also offer some cookies, but a big caveat of our operation is that we offer a lot of like delivery, a lot of which is offered like later in the evening. Our Brighton location, we've been there for 2 years, and it's been a great experience being there. Times have been a little bit tough with inflation, with the cost of goods, and the for us being open later allows us to combat some of those inflated prices that we're dealing with right now. We found a lot of success at our other 2 locations being open late. Our Arlington location is located pretty much in a residential area, and we're open till 2 a.m. And we find a lot of success being open that late over there. And we have another location also that's open till 1 a.m. with a lot of success. So we're just looking to carry it on to our Brighton location. You know, we love being there, and yeah, we hope we get the hours.
Thank you very much. Chairman Joyce, do you have any questions for the applicant?
I do. Did you say Alston is open till 1 a.m.?
Yes.
What percentage of your business do you expect to be delivery from 11 to 1 a.m.?
I'd expect in Brighton probably around 20% of our business to be conducted during that time, because we don't do a lot of business before 7:30. Mostly it's a lot of prep. We got some walk-ins, but a majority of our business is like college kids.
Okay.
Delivery.
Maybe I asked the question wrong. Can you predict between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
If you're saying 20% of all the business you do between those 2 hours will be deliveries?
No,
so
I think in Brighton is
the street.
Brighton is more of a walk-in location.
Okay.
It's more of a centralized location than Alston. Alston's kind of like off the major road.
Okay.
And Brighton is more like you got some bars down the street, and a lot of people are coming to us later at night. So that the ratio of delivery to walk-in business is much different in Brighton. So I expect much more walk-in business there.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that. I don't have any questions at this time. Commissioners?
No questions for me. Thank you.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office likes to defer to the judgment of this board. The applicant has met with the Brighton Alston Improvement Association and also addressed concerns from one of the abutters. We had an abutters meeting on March 27th that was not attended by any members of the community. The BAI has voted to support this proposal with the request that there be a 1-year sunset clause put in place so the applicant can return back to the board in a year's time. And also just they request that they ensure that music is played at appropriate volume levels late at night. With that, we defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 6, Tory Boylston Inc., doing business as Tory Japan, located at 1110 Boylston Street. Holder of a common victular license has petitioned to amend the closing hour of the licensed business from 11 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. to 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Hi, how are you, everybody? This is Tony. I'm the owner of the Tory Japan, located at 1110 Boylston Street, Tory Japan, and I'm here represent the company to attend this meeting. And like I said, according to the previous guy, my business, 30% of my business coming through the nighttime. We get a lot of delivery between the 11 to 2 o'clock. Because all the students always order late night, that's why the reason why I want to extend my hours. And the previous owner, Teriyaki House, I believe they also open from either from 11 to 8 a.m. in the past. So since we took over that space, we only open from 11 to 11:30, because during the pandemic, it's kind of hard to find the person want to work late night. So now it seems everything, we've been there for like 6 months already. So everything's all set right now. So we expanded to get back to the, to the old time hours.
Thank you for that explanation. Chairman Joyce, do you have any questions of the applicant?
The delivery, you're expecting 30% of your business to be delivery between those hours, or 30%?
Yes.
Okay. Like Uber Eats and stuff, or is it your own delivery person?
Yeah, no, Uber Eats, everything is go through the third party delivery, because most of the time the business don't start it till like 7 or 8 p.m. During the lunchtime till 7, we only, it's only like 50% of our sales. So after 11, we test that many times. After 8 o'clock, we're starting getting rush nonstop till 11:30. So I figured out there should be more sales coming through the nighttime, because daytime, most of us students don't, dining or order anything. I used to work at some other restaurant over the Austin and Brookline area. I think most of these business, restaurant owner, they recommend to open at nighttime to get some more business.
Okay, and will people be able to come in at the same time too, and eat there too during those hours, or is it just delivery at that time?
I think after 11:30, most of it is all delivery. I don't think any kids coming after 11.
Okay, is that a restriction? Is that what is that part of your business plan, or is that just your observation?
We will keep our door open for walk-in customer, late night customers, but assuming there wouldn't be any kids, coming during that time. So.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Commissioner Curran, any questions?
None at this time. Thank you.
Commissioner Saxon.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. We have the applicant flyer the area 300 feet to all abutters. We did not hear back from any residents at all. The Fenway Civic Association, which is the local neighborhood group, wrote a letter in opposition to this proposal concerning its proximity to residential areas, as well as concerns it could set a precedent for later closing times for the block. With that, we defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? I do see a hand raised from Alex Sachinitz. You may unmute yourself and please provide your testimony.
Hey, good morning. Yeah, my name is Alex Sapchinetz. I'm with the Fenway Civic Association. I did just want to briefly hop on to echo the summation of our letter from Connor. All due respect to Mr. Wu, Fenway Civic doesn't necessarily feel comfortable with the 2 a.m. closing. I believe the latest closing on that block currently is Bebop, which only goes until 1 a.m. Fenway Civic, I believe, has been consistent on our position to only have restaurants and businesses open until 1 a.m. on that block, just because it does so closely abut mixed use and residences. We can't necessarily speak to the hours of the previous business that was there, but I believe there was a reason that Mr. Wu only got until 11:30 when he took over the establishment. So Fenway Civic doesn't want to be unreasonable. We would support Mr. Wu staying open until 1 a.m., which is our board's consistent stated position, but we don't necessarily support 2 a.m. So thank you very much for the opportunity to testify.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thanks.
Calling item number 7, 507 Mass Ave LLC, located at 507 Massachusetts Ave in Roxbury, has applied for a lodging house license to be exercised on the above 5-story building with 2 rooms on the 1st floor, 2 rooms on the 2nd floor, 2 rooms on the 3rd floor, 2 rooms on the 4th floor, and 2 rooms on the 5th floor. Manager Armando Hernandez, who is present on behalf of the applicant.
Good morning, Secretary Green, Madam Chair, members of the board, Attorney Joe Hanley, at 28 State Street in Boston, representing the applicant, 507 Mass Ave LLC. With me is the proposed manager of record for the lodging house license on the application, as well as the 50% owner of the LLC operator, Armando Hernandez. His partner, Thomas Callis, the other 50% owner. Just to give you a little bit of background here, this 507 Mass Ave is an existing zoned and permitted lodging house and has been for decades. It is located at the corner of Tremont and Mass Ave.
I believe we've lost Attorney Hanley. Well, I can't tell if he went mute or if we lost him entirely. Mr. Hernandez, I assume you would like to wait for Attorney Hanley to return, correct? All right, we will see if he can reconnect, and we will take a second call when he does reconnect. For the time being, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Calling item number 8, Etnia's Restaurant Inc., doing business as Etnia's Restaurant, located at 145 Meridian Street in East Boston. Holder of a common victualler, 70 wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license, has petitioned to change the manager of the licensed business from Luz Alida Arango to Jose Torres, who is present on behalf of the applicant.
My name is Gildardo Preciado. I'm on the owner of the Etnia's Restaurant.
Thank you. And is Mr. Torres with us this morning?
I see him. He's on mute.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can see you and hear you now. Thank you.
Yes, I'm Jose Torres, and I am the proposed manager for the location.
Thank you, and thank you for joining us. Mr. Torres, are you a citizen?
I am.
Are you a resident of the Commonwealth?
Yes, I am.
What is your experience in the food and beverage industry?
I used to own and manage La Cancun Restaurant, Cashier LLC in Maverick Square in East Boston for the last 11 years.
Okay. The last question is, are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions. Commissioners, do you?
No questions for me. Thank you.
None for me, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals-
Deeply sorry about that, Madam Chair.
No worries, Attorney Hanley. We moved on, but we'll come right back to you as soon as.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry.
Thank you. On item number 8, are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you very much. Thank you for rejoining us, Attorney Hanley. We will now come back to where you were in your presentation on item number 7.
Very nice of you. Sorry, I had a disconnect there. So as I was just giving you an overview of the site. So 507 Mass Ave is an existing brick row house building, 5 stories, has current use and occupancy as a lodging house, which it's been used as for quite some time. When we made this application, it was by authorization of then the owner, Andrea Mitchell Revocable Trust. My client has since, its affiliated entity has since closed on the ownership of the property. I introduced you to the 50-50 ownership of the LLC. And so the current site is, internally, even though it was zoned as a lodging house, it looks like the prior operations had not been licensed for a little bit. So we are here to seek a new license for this new operator. Part of this proposal is to invest in life safety upgrades in the building, fire safety, hospitality, and also just improve the all-around condition of the building. There is no zoning requirements to do that, but we are very much interested in investing and enhancing the future of the lodging house building and its business. As was read into the record, there are 10 rooms. That's what exists today. So the renovation will be interior to the extent exterior won't change the footprint or any of the confines of what has been permitted and what is permitted today. We also submitted to the board, which is obviously the purview of this hearing, the qualifications of the management and operations, a detailed management and operations plan to bring in oversight, on-site management, as well as surveillance, maintenance, upkeep, how we will intake and screen guests, and how we will operate in conformance with the rules and regulations for lodging house licensure. Mr. Hernandez and Mr. Callis have a number of years of experience in property management, hospitality, real estate management. They are both South End residents nearby. Their management office is also nearby in the city. And as part of this process, I know I see Ms. Blair on from the Chester Square Neighbors Group. We had engaged, and we have engaged and continue to engage in outreach with the neighborhood group. I know they had sent a letter to this board dated March 28th, and we are agreeable to one of their final terms for a good neighbor agreement, which is to provide daily maintenance and cleaning of the sidewalk in and around the front of our property. I'll obviously let Carol speak for herself and for the group, but I will say that my client and myself, we deeply appreciate the engagement and the opportunity to work closely with the neighborhood and bring a product, an improved product to this existing lodging house with a new management and a more modern approach.
Thank you very much. Chairwoman Joyce, do you have any questions for the applicant?
I don't at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Curran, any questions?
None for me, thank you.
Commissioner Saxon?
None for me, thank you.
Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Hi, yes. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. Kim Crucioli with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant met with the Chester Square Neighborhood Association to speak about the proposal, and issues regarding cleanliness, short and long-term stays, and on-site management were raised. A good neighbor agreement was proposed to address these, and the conditions are still being decided at this time. This time, our office would like to defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? I see a hand raised by Carol Blair. I will ask you to unmute, and you may please provide your testimony. Oh, hang on, you're still on mute, Ms. Blair. There we go.
Yes, I'm having trouble managing my screen. So yes, we have made some progress. Chester Square, our neighborhood association is in the business of building relationships to strengthen our neighborhood so residents, businesses, and our many institutions can thrive. We understand that the upgraded lodging house will invite new people every day and that almost every aspect of hospitality, marketing, screening, registration, welcome, and payment will be performed online by computers. It's unlikely that guests will even speak with a neighbor. Chester Square neighbors have reviewed the proposal to operate a lodging house and hope to offer conditional support for a license transfer. We believe that we are close to agreement on a good neighbor policy. I just have to say, though, that I'm confused because I was under the assumption, the understanding that we had 8 units, and I hear this morning it's 10. I know that Mr. Hernandez had said that in the future they would like to divide the 2 bottom units, and I just want to be clear that in the final paperwork we understand what is happening here. By email on March 3rd, 2 days after they presented to Chester Square, we offered conditional support. We asked for a good neighbor policy, such as Claremont Neighborhood Association developed after their experience with lodging houses. It includes a variety of protocols together with commitments to on-site management and to a minimum stay of 3 days. Mr. Hernandez returned a markup of the document 4 days ago, and we have since been in negotiation by phone. We believe on-site management would help guests to be good neighbors, but Mr. Hernandez tells us he cannot commit to this or to a 3-day minimum at this point. So we offered another way for 507 to help. And late yesterday, Mr. Hernandez phoned to say he can commit to daily cleaning of the sidewalk from the corner of Tremont Street to the end of the bus stop, frontage for about 10 buildings. We are pleased that this will create opportunities for human interaction as well as being good for guest ratings. We can now focus on other terms of the Good Neighbor policy and hope to be able to sign an agreement soon. Chester Square neighbors want success for both the lodging house business and the neighborhood. Thank you for the opportunity to engage with 507 Mass Ave LLC.
Thank you, Ms. Blair. We appreciate your testimony. The next hand I see raised is from Lorraine Wheeler. Ms. Wheeler, I'm going to ask you to unmute as well. Please provide your testimony.
Hi, I'm here today to represent the District 7 City Councilor, Tanya Hernandez. And principally, Carol Blair has described that they would really appreciate having a good neighbor agreement with the owners of the property. And it seems as if some of those issues have been resolved, even if it's been late. So we would just ask that the owners continue to work with the neighborhood group. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next hand I see raised is from Bud Larivi. You may please provide your testimony.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm Bud Larrabee. I'm a resident of Chester Square, Chester Park, and at 617 Massachusetts Ave, and also president of Washington Gateway Main Streets. I have known Mr. Hernandez for many years and applaud him for taking on that project because that was an eyesore and will contribute to the betterment of the neighborhood, both aesthetically as well as socially. And I want to congratulate him on his magnanimous gesture to clean the street as suggested by Chester Square. And I hope that we can continue to support his efforts and others who come to our neighborhood to enhance the opportunities to improve the residential use and environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Hernandez, I see your hand is raised. You are the applicant. Would you like to respond?
Hi, Armando Hernandez here, the owner and a Southern resident. I want to go on record here to say that we are going to commit to clean the sidewalk every day for around 10 buildings in front of our building. And also I want to thank Carol Blair to connect me with this nonprofit that helps low-income people to, get back to work. And that's the company that is going to be handling the cleaning. Also, I wanted to clarify that it's a 8-unit lodging house. Sorry, I missed whenever, someone said 10 units, it's actually an 8 units lodging house. Thank you. And thanks to my neighbors to showing up today. Bye-bye.
Yeah, if I may, Secretary, Madam Chair, the application reads that there are 10 rooms on the notice, right? Because we have to disclose what the actual building includes, but Ms. Blair is correct, and the specific request in the floor plans and the licensure is 8 lodging house units. The 2 other bedrooms, the 2 other rooms are on the ground floor and are an apartment, not subject to the lodging house this time.
Thank you for that. Anything further from the board at this time?
Just a question. How many hours a week do you think you'll be on site, Mr. Hernandez?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually, I live 5 minutes away from the building.
Oh,
So I literally live next door. So basically at the beginning, we're gonna be like around 6 to 10 hours a day in the building until we kind of like finalize how's the operation of this building.
Okay.
Yeah, we have an office on site of the building.
You do? Okay.
I'll be working from there, yeah.
Yeah, these, as I, indicated, the operating company that Mr. Hernandez, Mr. Callis run, based in the city. They are both also local ownership, but there's much more to this than, this isn't just a free-for-all situation. If you read the management operation report, we'll have a hotline, we'll have constant communication, we'll have full 24/7 surveillance cameras. We have a very detailed screening and intake for guests to arrive. And so the oversight is constant, even though, there are plenty of places where you may have someone living there. We actually think that the approach we have accomplishes more than that in a better way and in a more modern technology way, but still being local with respect to management and oversight.
Okay, thank you for that. And I know that's in the file. I just have to take a closer look at it. Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
Thank you. Anything further from Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon? Thank you. The board will take this matter under advisement.
Thank you.
Thank you. The board has already heard item number 8. We will now call item number 9, PT Opco LLC, doing business as Pink Taco, located at 374 Congress Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned for a change of officers, directors, LLC managers of the corporation. Attorney Caroline O'Connell. Attorney O'Connell.
Good morning, everyone. We're here on a very simple matter. We're just changing the LLC manager for PT Opco LLC from Angelo Pietrunti to Roy Manor. That's the only change requested.
Thank you. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
None for me, thank you.
Thank
None.
you.
Great.
Are
Thank
there
you.
any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you. Calling item number 10, Marriott Resorts Hospitality Corporation, doing business as Marriott Custom House, located at 3 McKinley Square. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license, has petitioned for a change of officers, directors, LLC managers of the corporation. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Hi, good morning. Tyler Hensler here from Upton, Connell and Devlin on behalf of the applicant. This change of officers involves Stephen P. Weiss, the current president and director. He's being replaced by John E. Geller, Jr., who's currently a disclosed and approved vice president and director. And also Ralph Lee Cunningham, current vice president, is retiring and will not be replaced. No other changes in the officer slate, ownership. Both of the people getting promotions have been previously approved. And from the perspective of the people of Boston, nothing will change operationally at the 3 McKinley Square location. So thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Hensler. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
No questions. Thank you.
None from me.
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 11 has been withdrawn by the applicant and will be submitting a new application for another change of DBA. Calling item number 12, Shin Hakata Ramen Corp., doing business as Hakata Ramen, located at 173 Massachusetts Ave. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages with liqueurs license, has petitioned to change the DBA of the licensed business from Hakata to Berkeley Noodles Factory. Who is present on behalf of the applicant? Is that you, Derek Chan? Are you trying to, you're on mute right now if you're trying to speak.
Hi, this is Derek Chan, and the sitting next to me is Xiaodan Liu. We are the partner of the Sing Hakala. We have been here, for a number of years, and we are serving various, Asian noodles. Customer having a hard time to remember our name. That's the reason why we like change the name. Something is simple and easy to remember. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Chairwoman Joyce, any questions?
No questions. Thank you very much.
None for me, thank you.
None from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 13, H&H LLC, doing business as Harborside Inn, located at 185 to 187 State Street. Holder of an in-holder all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned for the approval of a management agreement between H&H LLC and JOIA Boston LLC. Attorney John Aida. Attorney Aida.
Good morning. Thank you, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board, John Aida, McDermott, Quilty, and Miller. On behalf of the licensee, joining me from the licensee is Mark Hagopian. He's the owner and manager of record, as well as John Marco Rinaldi from the proposed management entity, Joya Boston LLC. John Marco and his business partner, Joseph De Pasquale, will operate the restaurant, lounge, as well as the outdoor patio at the Harborside Inn. Both of those partners have extensive experience in the industry. Joseph is owner of Asagio and Trattoria Il Panino, and Marco, who's joining us as well, has worked at and managed Trattoria Il Panino, as well as some of the other restaurants under the De Pasquale family name. We did receive a letter of support from the Wharf District Council, and I'll turn it over briefly to Marco just so we can inform you about the concept, what he's looking to do here at the Harborside Inn. Marco.
Oh, Marco, I see you. You're on mute. Hang on just one second. I have to ask you to unmute.
Hi there, my name is John Marco Rinaldi. I'm the owner of Joya Boston LLC and DBA as a Joya Restaurant and Lounge. And I've been working in the United States, in this industry for over 10 years in club, restaurant, and late night. I'm totally fully aware of all the law in place and all the regulation ABCC, and we always been very careful and very attentive to all our customer and take care of our license very responsible.
And Marco, what's the concept? Is this an Italian restaurant? Do you want to just talk briefly about that?
Yes, the restaurant will be a full dining Italian restaurant, sitting down in the morning at nighttime between 5 and 11 during the week and 12 during the weekend. In the morning, we will serve a full breakfast, full American breakfast with some touch of Italian dishes like pasta, some salad, and serving hotel guests and the community around us.
Thank you, Marco. And other than that, there are no ownership changes here. The hours of operation will remain the same, and there's no changes to the layout or floor plan.
Thank you. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
Thank you. I have no questions. I just want to clarify, is the manager of record staying the same?
It is. Mr.
Okay.
Hagopian is staying on as manager of record, correct?
Okay, thank you. No questions.
None for me either, thank you.
No questions. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement.
Thank you.
Calling item number 14, 11 Fan Pier Restaurant LLC, doing business as Serafina, located at 11 Fan Pier Boulevard. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from in one room on ground floor with various seating areas to bars, kitchen and restrooms, and private dining areas in separate room on ground floor, storage and office space in rear. 2, in one room on ground floor with various seating areas, 2 bars, kitchen and restrooms, and private dining areas in separate room on ground floor, storage and office space in rear, together with a seasonal April to November outdoor patio on private property with 24 seats and an 11 p.m. outdoor closing hour. who is present on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you, Secretary Green. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Attorney Ryan Gazda from McDermott, Quilty and Miller on behalf of the licensee. With me this morning is Jonathan Brackman, who is the manager of record for Serafina at 11 Fan Pier Boulevard. This is an application for an alteration of premise to add a small outdoor patio outside the front of the restaurant with 24 seats. This would be the same area that the restaurant previously licensed through the outdoor dining program last year. But they've entered into an agreement with their landlord to add it as a more permanent fixture of their license as a seasonal license on the license description of premise. It'll have an 11 p.m. closing hour, and as I mentioned, 24 seats. Otherwise, there are no operational changes proposed, but we would be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
My only question is for the outdoor patio, do you have the proper zoning in place for that?
We do, yes. Yep.
You've completed that, okay.
Yeah,
I'm-
we're currently in, other than the zoning, we're in discussions with FPOC and Seaport, which is kind of a functional equivalent of a private PIC for the sidewalk space in the Seaport. And we're in ongoing discussions with them with regard to the location of planter boxes currently, but that's the only thing holding it up. But that'll be squared away before, ABCC approval is, complete.
Okay, thanks, attorney. No questions.
None from me. Thank you.
Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
None, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. We had the applicant flyer, butters within 300 feet, and they also reached out to the Seaport Neighborhood Association, where they answered their questions, and the Seaport Neighborhood Association expressed that they didn't have any further concerns at this time. With that, we defer to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. And are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 15, 30 Traveler LLC, doing business as Bar Mizana, located at 360 Harrison Ave in Roxbury. Holder of a common victual or 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from in one floor with dining room in 2 rooms, kitchen in 1 room, office in 1 room, and storage, seasonal April to October outdoor patio on private property, accessible by 2 private entrances exits with midnight closing hour. 2, in 1 floor with dining room in 2 rooms, kitchen in 1 room, office in 1 room, and storage, seasonal April to October outdoor patio on private property, accessible by 2 private entrances exits with midnight closing hour along Harrison Avenue and Traveler Street, with seating for 25 persons, and an additional seasonal April to October outdoor patio on private property between 360 Harrison Ave and 350 Harrison Ave, with additional seating for 42 and a midnight closing hour, indoor closing hour 2 a.m. Attorney Dennis Quilty. Attorney Quilty.
Good morning, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. You might want to call the next one together with this. They are companion cases. They're literally next door to one another.
I see that. Yep. Thank you for that. It looks like they're actually sharing the space. Yep. So
yes,
thank you. We'll call into the record as well. Item number 16, Boston Tavern Company, Inc., doing business as Yellow Door Taqueria, located at 300 Harrison Ave in Roxbury. Holder of a common victual or 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from tenant space D in 1 room with dining area, bar, kitchen, storage, 2 street level entrances, 3 street level exits, with a seasonal April to October patio on private property with 11 p.m. closing hour on the patio. 2, tenant space D in 1 room with dining area, bar, kitchen, storage, 2 street level entrances, and 3 street level exits, with a seasonal April to October patio on private property with 12 a.m. closing hour and 20 seats along Harrison Avenue, and an additional seasonal April to October outdoor patio on private property between 360 Harrison Ave and 350 Harrison Ave, with additional seating for 42 and a kiosk service bar with 8 seats and 12 a.m. closing hour with an indoor closing hour of 2 a.m. Attorney Quilty.
good morning again, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the commission. With me, Dennis Quilty, attorney representing the 2 applicants. With me on behalf of Bar Mizana, Jefferson Macklin, and on behalf of the Boston Tavern Company, Jarek Mountain and Colleen Haggerty. This is an example of something good that actually came out of COVID. The space between these 2 buildings, which is private property of the development entity, these are both in the Ink Block neighborhood, is a space that was utilized during COVID when they had to do as much outdoor seating as possible to sustain their businesses. It worked so well that once everything cleared, they were able to make an arrangement with the property owner for the use of that space on an ongoing basis. It is literally touching, this space connects to both of these buildings so that the two patios would be side by side in this area, all on private property, all approved by, as I said, the property owner, the two condominiums buildings that they occupy, as well as we have met with the East Berkeley Neighborhood Association and had full support of that entity. We have had direct discussions with District City Councilor Flynn, and he's supportive as well. I can see Kim is on board. We were not caused to have to hold an abutters meeting because of the outreach that was done in that regard. Both are existing restaurants, both quality establishments, no violations, well run, well operated. And we think this will just be a really fabulous addition to both buildings and to the neighborhood. And we certainly are here to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Joyce. Any questions?
No questions, just a comment. It really is nice to see something like this happen where two restaurants are able to use space like that moving forward. So thanks for bringing something like this before the board. No questions.
Thank you.
Commissioner Curran, any questions?
Yeah, none for me. Thank you.
Commissioner Saxon?
None. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on these items 15 or 16, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Hi, yes. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Kim Crucioli from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant met with the East Berkeley Neighborhood Association, where they were met with support, and they also addressed any concerns. At this time, our office would like to defer to the board. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on these matters? Anything further from the board on this?
Just want to clarify that the zoning's in place, Attorney Quilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. With that, the board will take these matters under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 17, Tuscan Kitchen of Boston LLC, doing business as Tuscan Kitchen, located at 53 Northern Ave. Holder of a common victual or 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to amend the description of the licensed business from approximately 14,573 square feet on 2 floors. First floor will be a foyer entrance with no service, consisting of approximately 1,105 square feet. Second floor will be the remaining 13,468 square feet with 6 rooms, kitchen, bar, dining, storage, and 2 restrooms. There are 4 entrances and exits. The main entrance on the first floor, employee entrance in the rear of the kitchen, emergency exit in the dining room, and an entrance in the bar from the lobby of the main building. 2, Tuscan Kitchen will consist of approximately 14,573 square feet on 2 floors. First floor will be a small cocktail bar consisting of approximately 1,105 square feet. Second floor will house the remaining 13,468 square feet with 6 rooms, kitchen, bar, dining, storage, and 2 restrooms. There are 4 entrances, exits. The main entrance on the first floor, employee entrance in the rear of the building, emergency exit in the dining room, and an entrance in the bar from the lobby of the main building. There was an approximately 600 square foot private seasonal outdoor patio, weather dependent, March to November, with a seating capacity of 14. Hours of operation would be the same as indoor dining. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
My name is Charles Wright, General Manager of Tuscan Kitchen. Good morning, Madam Chair and Chairman of the Board.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Good morning. Could you please briefly present the proposed changes to the board?
So what it is a renovation of our existing ground floor space to make it more engaging with the street, as well as have that street level presence. The BLB action also includes a small outdoor cafe patio with approximately 14 seats. And the inside renovation is going to consist of a small bar with some high tops, as well as a few seats at the high top.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Chairman Joyce, do you have any questions for the applicant?
No questions, thank you.
Commissioner Curran?
None for me. Thank you.
Commissioner Saxon?
None for me. Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. We understand the applicant has reached out to the Seaport Neighborhood Association, and they have not expressed any concerns at this time. Thank you.
Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support, but he does request that the applicant continue working with the Abutters and Neighborhood Association of the area. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Calling item number 18, BUH2 LLC located at 52 Temple Place. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to BUHDTX LLC, doing business as Boston Chops at the same location. Brian Pacini, manager, 2 a.m. closing hour. Secondly, has petitioned to pledge the license to Zader Investments LLC. Attorney Dennis Quilty. Attorney Quilty.
Good morning again, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty representing the applicant this morning. With me is Brian Pacini, who is the manager of record. This is the existing Boston Chops downtown location on Temple Place. The application is for a corp-to-corp transfer, no change of location, with the same ownership structure as the previous licensee at this location, and it's really a housekeeping matter for Mr. Pacini and his partners to maintain the business and reopen and operate successfully at this location. They were, of course, dealt a blow as everyone else during COVID, and were able to restructure and come back and recreate this terrific downtown restaurant, which we hope will be successful going forward. Mr. Pacini is an approved manager of record. He's been the owner and operator of the site since its establishment at this location, and we really expect no operational changes or any other changes for that matter, other than the name change of the corporate structure. And we're certainly here to answer any of your questions. Mr. Pacini is with us this morning. Thank you.
Thank you. I have no questions, and thanks for joining us today, Mr. Pacini. I know I saw you earlier, but
Good morning.
good morning. Thank you. I have no questions.
None for me, thank you.
Commissioner Saxon,
No questions. Thanks.
are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected individuals, beginning with elected representatives, elected officials with their representatives?
Good
Okay,
morning,
Andrew.
Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
19 Tasty Burger Corporation, doing business as Tasty Burger, located at 1301 Boylston Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Our Father's Deli LLC, doing business as Our Father's Deli at the same location. Philip J. Aldino, the third manager, 2 a.m. closing hour. Attorney Dennis Quilty. Attorney Quilty once again.
Good morning again, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty representing the applicant. With me this morning is Phil Audino. The application is to utilize the, if you will, now former Tasty Burger site on Boylston Street in the Fenway, which operation moved to another location on Van Ness Street, which was approved recently, leaving this site vacant, if you will. The Our Father's Deli is an undertaking that Mr. Audino and his partners have developed, which previously existed out in the Brighton neighborhood. They seek to move the concept and utilize the license that was at the same location for this new concept at, again, the former Tasty Burger location on Boylston Street in the Fenway. So it's the same corporate structure, the same operational, same hours, et cetera, and the same group of people running it and operating it as have in the past under this new name, again, one of their companion businesses, if you will. And Mr. Audino is here. He is an approved manager by this board, and we're certainly happy to answer any questions. We made outreach to Fenway Civic, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Service, and the District City Councilor. We believe there are no objections as we arrive here this morning before you, and we're happy to answer your questions.
Thank you. No questions. Very exciting to see this opening up there. I'll turn it over to my fellow commissioners. Commissioner Curran or Saxon, do you have any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
None for me, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? I do see a hand raised by Alex Sachnitz. I will ask you to unmute and you may please provide your testimony.
Hey, good morning again. My name is Alex Sachnitz with Fenway Civic Association. Just to be clear with Attorney Quilty, I actually don't believe Fenway Civic received any outreach from your group. I believe we had to reach out to you.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was some communication.
That is incorrect. Ryan Gazda, who works for me, reached out. I've got an email trail of outreach that was never responded to.
Okay. All right. I can clarify on that with our licensing chair. We have no objections to our fathers coming into the neighborhood for sure. As Chair Joyce said, we are certainly excited to see our fathers returning. I think I did just want to clarify, is our fathers willing to agree to the same commitment that Tasty had agreed to in that space, which was refraining from outdoor amplified music and not serving alcohol without food? Those are commitments that we do ask new restaurants coming into the neighborhood to make. So I don't believe we've been able to have a full discussion with the representation so far. So I did just want to ask that here on this meeting.
I can't speak to that. I don't know whether those conditions are on the license. The license isn't moving. The license is the same license that's been there for probably.
These are not official stated conditions to the license.
We don't impose that condition anymore under this administration. It's no longer a condition that you have to eat food with alcohol. Since Mayor Walsh.
Right. As I say, this is not an official condition of the license from the city. This is a commitment of courtesy that Fenway Civic asks for new restaurants coming in.
But
so Tasty had committed to this prior to and during COVID.
I can chime in here too for a second.
Oh yeah, would you please?
Yeah, we don't intend to have any outdoor music. We haven't really discussed serving alcohol in the patios without food. Right now, it's not our intention. I don't know if that's something I want to commit to right now. But currently that's, it's not our intention right now, but again, we can speak offline if you want, but I don't think that's our intention.
Sure. As I say, it would have been nice to have a fuller discussion with Fenway Civic prior to this call.
Because it's not required to. I appreciate your feelings and conveying that during the hearing, but that's not required as part of this application.
It sounds like we can't agree to the no amplified music outside. So let's at least put that on the record.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sachnitz. Thank you, Attorney Quilty. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Anything further from the board?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Board will take this matter under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 20, Pacific Theaters Exhibition Corp. doing business as ArcLight Cinemas located at 100 Legends Way. Holder of a common victular 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to American Multi Cinema Inc. doing business as AMC Theaters at the same location. Samuel Mochiri, manager, 2 a.m. closing hour. Secondly, has petitioned to update the description of premise from on 4 floors. First floor to be licensed 1 room with 2 entrances and exits, 2,547 square feet. Second floor mezzanine, 1 room with 2 entrances and exits, 5,382 square feet. Second floor with 6 auditoriums, concession area, lobby, and storage areas, 26,116 square feet. Third floor with 9 auditoriums, concession area, lobby, and storage areas, 36,422 square feet. Total square footage, 71,467. 2. Premises located at 100 Legends Way, also known as 60 Causeway Street, on 4 floors. First floor to be licensed, 1 room with 2 entrances and exits, 2,547 square feet. Second floor mezzanine, 1 room with 2 entrances and exits, 5,382 square feet. Second floor with 6 auditoriums, concession area, lobby and storage areas, 26,116 square feet. Third floor with 9 auditoriums, concession area, lobby and storage areas, 36,422 square feet. Total square footage, 71,467. Attorney Andrew Upton. Attorney Upton.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Attorney Green. Andrew Upton, Connell and Devlin for the applicant. With me is Sam Muchiri, the proposed manager of record. Sam is a U.S. citizen. He's a Mass resident. He has experience in the sale and service of alcohol and supervision in the sale and service of alcohol. And he's familiar with the rules and regulations of this board and the ABCC because he is currently the approved manager of record at the South Bay AMC, where he has had no violations during his tenure. This is formerly the ArcLight Theater in the Boston Garden Complex. AMC has bought the license out of bankruptcy, and they are going to put a movie theater with alcohol and food back where ArcLight had a movie theater with alcohol and food. It's 666,000 square feet. AMC has the character and fitness to hold a license. They have 9 licenses in Massachusetts, including 1 at Boston Common and 1 at South Bay, as I said. They have hundreds of theaters across the US with over 300 liquor licenses. They have a 5-page alcohol service protocol and a 9-page ID checking policy that are part of training for all employees, which I have submitted to the board. Everyone's used to checking IDs for movies already, so checking for alcohol service is a fairly smooth transition. They have surveillance cameras in use that they would share with the police if ever needed. And they have 2 security guards on duty 7 days a week and use police details as needed. We believe there's a public need for a license at this location. The location was a movie theater with alcohol until March of 2020 when ArcLight closed. This is a major tenant and a draw to the area. We expect 500,000 customers annually. We will hire 40 employees. It's a $12 million build out, and they're expected to pay over $1 million a year in taxes. Market research has shown that over 50% of movie guests want the option of a drink, but the actual percentage buying one is under 20%. Some people have a second drink, but most people do not, for the simple fact they don't want to miss part of the movie. Anyone coming to the bar during a film is easy to ID and check for intoxication, as there are hardly any people at the concession stand after the movie is running. As I said, this is formally licensed and formally approved by the West End Civic Association and the Downtown North Association when the first license went in there. That being said, we have a meeting with Downtown North today and West End on April 13th. Because the theater is slated to open on April 21st, we ask that the board approve this application without waiting for the West End meeting. If you need to condition final issuance of the license on proof that the meeting occurred, we're certainly fine with that. Finally, I'd like to ask for a temporary CV license just in case the ABCC does not process this in a timely fashion. And with all that, we're glad to answer any questions.
Thank you. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
Thank you, Attorney Upton. You have answered all my questions.
Commissioner Curran, any questions?
None for me, thank you.
Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
None for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Sarah D'Amico with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. As the applicant have stated, they did reach out to the civic groups in that existing area, and they do plan to meet with them today and this week. As of now, they have not raised any concerns or oppositions. And at this time, our office would like to defer to the board's judgment. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item 21, Leaside Restaurant Inc. doing business as the Whiskey Priest, located at 150 Northern Ave in South Boston. Holder of a common victular 7-day alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license from the above to Savor Restaurant LLC, doing business as Savor Restaurant at the same location. David Doyle, manager, 12 a.m. closing hour. Secondly, has petitioned to amend the description of premise from 2 rooms, kitchen, and outdoor patio on the first floor, 2 rooms on the first floor for stock, 1 room on the mezzanine level, and to include an outdoor patio on the roof, capacity breakdown, first floor inside 326, first floor outside 28, second floor inside 39, second floor outside 154. 2, venue located at 150 Seaport Boulevard, also known as 150 Northern Ave, consisting of 10,290 square feet, 2 floors with a mezzanine for stock, first floor seating for 130, 2 bar and dining areas, bar 1 seating for 27, lounge dining for 14, bar dining for 8, general dining for 29, cocktail lounge for 4, and private annual patio to close at 10 p.m. with capacity of 48 patrons. Second floor, 2 dining areas for 159 people, bar for 9, bar dining 14, dining area number 1 for 18, dining area number 2 for 36, private dining room for 14, cocktail lounge for 4, and outside private annual patio to consist of 64 patrons with a 10 p.m. patio closing. Hours of operation, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12 a.m. Sunday. Lastly, as petitioned to pledge the license to Northern Bank and Trust Company. Attorney Patricia Malone. Attorney Malone.
Yes, members of the board. What we're seeking here today is actually 3 things. The first thing we're seeking is to actually change the corporate. This is a corp-to-corp transfer. It was the old Leaside Restaurant Inc. doing business as Whiskey Priest, as many of us may remember. That building has since been destroyed, and there is a brand new luxury condominium building operating there. This restaurant, which is known as the Savor Restaurant LLC, doing business as the Savor Restaurant, will be the first 2 floors of what's known as the St. Regis Residences. With me today, I have Mr. David Doyle. The majority shareholder of the Leaside is also the managing member of the Savor Restaurant. The manager, Mr. David Doyle, is also a member of the new LLC Savor Restaurant. The second petition I have before you today is a amendment of the description, also because it's a new venue in new construction. We are asking that the new premises we conduct would be the first and second floor of the licensed venue with the mezzanine for stock. The licensee also has 2 private patios that are part and parcel of this licensed venue. The hours of the restaurant would be 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Monday through Saturday. They would like the opportunity on Sunday mornings to operate at 10 a.m. For the service of brunch only. The third so-called application, we are all seeking a pledge of the license to the Northern Bank and Trust Company. With me today, I have Mr. David Doyle. I'm not quite sure I see him in the room. Is he here?
Yeah, I'm here. Patricia.
Oh, okay. Mr. Doyle, who has extensive restaurant experience. He has been the functional actually manager for 8 years with Rebel Restaurant, with 5 years as the general manager of Smith & Walensky, not only in Massachusetts, but in Washington, D.C., and is responsible for restaurant, also several restaurants in Las Vegas and Chicago. He's also a resident of Massachusetts, a citizen, very, very familiar, extensive background with the rules and regulations of the ABCC, and has extensive restaurant experience. I will say that we did meet with the abutters in February of this year, and there were at that time several issues that the residents did bring up, and a few of them were the valet issue, as well as Chapter 91 issues. Now, at that point, I was not familiar with the Chapter 91 issues that the licensee did have before them. I did research on the Chapter 91. I was contacted by the 4 Point Channel, Mr. Tom Reedy, and I said I would look into it. I did respond back to him and tell him that I was aware that we did fall under the category for the conditions of Chapter 91, and that I waited for some more questioning, I guess, on what he was waiting for. I said, any more questions, I'd be available. I took it upon myself with the licensee to actually speak with DEP about some of the Chapter 91 conditions that they did place on the license. We are in weekly contact with DEP. The DEP and the Chapter 91 requirements for this licensee was that they have a 500-foot area, actually for a waiting area, not only for, it also contained public restrooms, and it was a waiting area actually for waterways. There were other conditions such as signage and how it was going to be approved so that people actually knew that the harbor walk was there, that there was ferry service, as well as there was accessibility to restrooms. All of those are in compliance with what both the Boston Planning for the City of Boston has, as well as DEP. We are in the process of right now of getting those signages up as we see the restaurant opening. Probably we're like it to open by the end of May, and we are working with DEP and with the city to make sure that the signage complies with what Chapter 91 requires us to do. As far as the other issue that came up was valet. We recognize this is a very, very busy stretch of Seaport Boulevard, and we have come up with 2 different proposals for valet service. We have not narrowed it down. We will probably have it narrowed down within the next, I would say, couple of weeks. I did receive a letter today, actually, from Mr. Tom Reedy of the 4 Point Channel Association. I was a little bit disturbed to think that I had not complied. I mean, I went to town on Chapter 91 the minute I knew that it was going to be an issue, and I had offered myself out twice to answer any type of questions with Chapter 91, and nobody ever reached out again back to me. So I would say that this licensee or proposed licensee is in compliance with Chapter 91. And furthermore, I am in compliance and making sure that my clients is in compliance with Chapter 91. So I would ask that if the board has any questions regarding Chapter 91 or why the neighborhood at this point feels that I haven't been compliant with Chapter 91, I'm a little disappointed on. But other than that, if there are any questions by residents or you may have with regard to the manager or anything I can answer, we'd be more than happy to answer any questions that anybody has relative to this. I think they're fine with this licensee. I think it's a Chapter 91 issue that it may be of some concern to the residents, and I understand, and we are in compliance. Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Malone. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
Thank you for confirming that you're in compliance. Attorney Malone, do you have an agreement with DEP that you could forward to the board just so we can have on file? Okay,
Yes,
thank
I
you.
do. Yep.
And simple question, what is the reason for the pledge?
The pledge is actually for the license for the loan that is being obviously taken out for this premise.
Okay, thank you. I have no questions. Commissioners, do you?
Not at this time, thank you.
Done from me, thanks.
Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. As you heard from the applicant mention, our office held an abutters meeting on February 22nd. That was constructive with members from the community as well as the 4 Point Neighborhood Association were on. I understand that FP&A still has some lingering concerns regarding what the valet plan will look like, as well as wayfinding and space on the ground floor that would be made available for those using the ferry services for this area. Otherwise, our office is unaware of any further concerns at this time. And as I said before, we'll defer to the judgment of this board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support, but he has remaining concerns and questions about the valet parking plan, public restrooms, and ferry waiting area. He respectfully requests that the team provide clarity and an update on these issues to him, the 4 Point Neighborhood Association, and the neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? I see a hand raised from Sarah McCammon. Ms. McCammon, I'm going to ask you to unmute, and you may please provide your testimony.
Good morning, and thank you for the time this morning. I did attend the abutters meeting, and we are looking forward to the opening of Savor Restaurant. As mentioned, there are a couple outstanding issues on the ground floor. As part of their Mass DEP Chapter 91 license, the building is required to provide 500 square feet of the ferry waiting area and public restrooms on the ground floor. What has come up in discussion is that we've asked for clarity and for floor plans to see where those spaces would be located. And if those spaces have not been allocated in the current ground floor, then there is a potential that the restaurant would have to be reconfigured in order to allow for those spaces, and therefore the premises of the liquor license would need to be adjusted. And so we were I'm respectfully requesting that the board take this under advisement and delay any vote until we can get greater clarity. We have been in contact with the chief of the waterways program and look forward to getting this matter resolved and to hearing the different options for the valet program to make sure that there is public safety for not only the residents that are in the building, the patrons that are visiting the restaurant, and those enjoying the Harbor Walk. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Yeah, if I could say one thing just regarding, just to follow up with Sarah, that we're welcome to provide any floor plans. We do have 500 square feet. As you walk through the main door, you'll see a post stand right in front, and all the way to the left, it's a floating staircase, and there is a waiting area there that we're providing under Chapter 91, and also on the first floor, literally right beside that waiting area, are some public restrooms as well. So we're welcome to provide any floor plans regarding that. So.
Thank you for that, Mr. Doyle. Are there any other individuals who would like to provide testimony on this item? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 22, Maru LLC, doing business as Maru, located at 10 Huntington Ave. Holder of a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to JTBC Inc., doing business as Jiangnan, located at 177 Tremont Street. Premise consists of 3,000 square feet, one room on first floor with kitchen in rear, with 118 table seats and 8 bar seats. Bathroom, storage, and employee areas, and basement, closing hour 1 a.m. So Lim Ting manager. Secondly, has petitioned to change the category of its license to a wines, malt beverages, and liqueurs license pursuant to the authority contained in Chapter 481 of the Acts of 1994. And lastly, has petitioned to pledge the license to New Valley Bank and Trust. Attorney Carolyn Conway. Attorney Conway.
Good morning. Thank you, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. I have with me today Mr. Solam Ting, who together with his wife is the owner and the proposed manager of the premises. You will recognize Mr. Ting is already manager of 2 licenses in the city of Boston, both with the DBA of Friendship Barbecue. And this is a brand new venture for him in the old Teatro space at 177 Tremont Street. As you can see from the floor plan that we've submitted, it is basically the same floor plan that was there used for Teatro Restaurant, with the new operation maintaining some of the best qualities of the interior of the building, which number one would be its remarkable ceiling, its mirrors. We've done cosmetic renovations so that it has a particular stamp on it. It is a fine dining restaurant that will feature cuisine from all sections of China. Its specialty being Peking duck, and it's going to be a beautiful addition to the Common and on the face of the Common. The hours of operation proposed are 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. We currently have a CV license and are operating. We're closing a little bit earlier right now. We just want to get the kitchen up and running while we're awaiting the transfer of the license. The capacity of the premises is basically the same as Teatro, 126, with the same bar seats. And we're looking forward to doing this. We also are requesting a change of category to include cordials. The cordials are for the flavor pairings with the food. Mr. Ting can address that if you want, but what we are doing, we don't expect that the alcohol is going to be a large percentage of the sale, but we do plan on offering pairings with certain of the food items so that the tastes will all be together, and that would make the cordials license necessary for us. Lastly, we're looking to pledge the license to New Valley Bank and Trust, which will cover the cost of the license and also the renovations to the building. Again, we're happy to, we've met with several neighborhood organizations. We've met with the Midtown Park Plaza Neighborhood Association, the Boston Downtown Residents Association, and the Boston Downtown BID Association. I want to give a special thanks in this community process to both ONS, to Councilor Flynn's office. They've just been great and helping us and steering us in the right direction and getting us with everybody.
Thank you very much. Chairwoman Joyce, do you have any questions for the applicant?
Thank you, Attorney Conway. Thank you for spelling that out for us. Mr. Ting, are you a citizen?
Oh, yes, proud to be.
Good. Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Of course, I love Boston.
Oh, good. Do you have experience in the food and beverage industry?
That's what I love to do. It's my career. All my family. This is what we live and try for. It's our dream come true to land a spot, not a spot, a remarkable spot in Boston Common, to really able to showcase the whole Chinese culture through a very common language that we all have, which is food. And I'm just too excited.
I appreciate that. That's great. And we're happy that you joined us here. And the last question I ask everyone who is applying to be a manager of record is, are you familiar with the rules and regulations of our board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Most definitely. Yes, I am.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
I do not have any questions. Thank you.
None for me, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. As you heard from the applicant's representation, they did a lot of community outreach. We're unaware of any concerns at this time. We've received letters of support from the Midtown Park Plaza Neighborhood Association, as well as the Downtown Residents Association. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Yes, good morning, Danny. Good morning, Madam Chair, board members. This is Mary Higgins. I'm representing the Midtown Park Plaza Neighborhood Association. And yes, Carolyn Conway and Solim presented at the February 8th meeting. And we're very excited and eager to have this voted on and passed. And we welcome them to the Midtown Park Plaza area as a lovely new addition for another amenity and a great restaurant. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Calling item number 23, Jay's Cafe and Grill, Inc., doing business as Shun's Kitchen, located at 520 Columbus Ave in Roxbury. Holder of a common victual or 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to G&V Ice Cream and Sub, Inc., doing business as Don't Tell Auntie, located at 1122 Boylston Street. Premise consists of a restaurant on ground floor containing approximately 1,500 square feet in 2 rooms, with dining area seating for 48 patrons, bar area seating for 5 patrons, kitchen and rear, basement storage containing approximately 1,500 square feet, closing hour 2 a.m., Niraj Patel, manager. And lastly, has petitioned to pledge the license to Rockland Trust Company. Attorney John Aida. Attorney Aida.
Thank you, Attorney Green. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board, John Aida, McDermott Quilton Miller, here on behalf of the applicant. With me is Niraj Patel. Mr. Patel is a officer, director, shareholder, as well as the proposed manager of record. He does have experience in the food and beverage industry. He also owns both Section 12 and 15 licenses. He is most recently, he's owned and opened a restaurant in Norwood, which holds an alcohol license, also an Indian restaurant. He is a United States citizen, a resident of Massachusetts, and familiar with the rules and regulations of the board, the Commonwealth, and the laws of, ABCC and the laws of the Commonwealth as it pertains to sale and service of alcohol. He is a longstanding member of this neighborhood and this community. He has been in the neighborhood and has operated and owned Symphony Market right on the corner, which is just 2 doors down. The neighboring restaurant as well is his and his business partners. It's Shah's Halal Food. So this would be the third location on this entire block, all owned and operated by Nirul Patel and the other shareholders. The concept here, it's upscale restaurant, sit-down restaurant for lunch and dinner service. The focus is really going to be on the food and the atmosphere. And they'd like to serve some beer, wine, and cocktails along with with the food that will complement the menu. All the staff will be tips trained and certified. And again, with the focus being on food, there's really a draw here in the public need to show that there's a demand for more dining options. Having been part of this neighborhood for the past 20 years, Mr. Patel has seen a lot of businesses come and go. In fact, this space, it was vacant. It was a former Subway. So this is going to be quite a big and drastic change from that to have an upscale Indian restaurant. They're really excited to be adding this to this location. They really think there's demand for more sit-down dining options, especially to be able to give them the addition of alcohol service would be a great benefit. Next door at the halal restaurant, there is no alcohol. But they have had demanding customers, requesting that as well. It's just not set up for that. It's just a smaller space. It's more of a quick service food. That restaurant is open till 2 a.m. So not only is there demand for more dining options, but we'd argue that there's a demand for late night service as well, which would include alcohol service at this location. There are no immediate, Indian restaurants that we're aware of in this location. So we think this would be a nice draw for the residents and those visiting the area. Mr. Patel joins us if you have any questions for him or for myself.
Thank you, Attorney Aida. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
No questions, Attorney Aida, and thank you, Mr. Patel, for joining us. Your attorney covered all the manager of record questions that I have. Commissioner Curran and Commissioner Saxon?
I was curious, is there a patio?
So we're not seeking any outdoor seating. There may have been some in the past, but we're not. It's nothing on this application.
That's all I have. Thank you.
No questions, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. We had a constructive community process and our office is unaware of any concerns at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 24, Big Night Venues Boston 1 LLC, doing business as Red Lantern, located at 41 to 45 Stanhope Street. Holder of a common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license has petitioned to transfer the license and the location from the above to Legends Music LLC, located at 800 Boylston Street. Premises consist of a 3-story observation deck on the 50th, 51st, and 52nd floors of the Prudential Tower. All levels are intended to be utilized in conjunction with food and beverage operations, including full-service restaurants on the 50th, cocktail bar and outdoor deck on the 51st, and special event space on each level. Closing hour 2 a.m. Justin Rink, manager. Who's present on behalf of the applicant?
Good morning, everyone. Andrew Upton from Upton, Connell, and Devlin for the applicant. And with me is Justin Rink, the proposed manager of record. Justin is a U.S. citizen. He's a Mass resident. He has extensive experience in F&B, and he's familiar with the rules and regulations of the board. At prior jobs, he's supervised over 1,000 employees with multiple liquor outlets, and he has not had a violation. He has been TIPS trained in the past, and he has signed up to refresh that training, and we'll have it by the time it is needed if the license is approved. This is a unique attraction destination experience at the top of the Prudential Center. It covers 3 floors at the top of the Pru. It's formerly what was known as top of the hub. There will be 2 restaurants there, both sit down and casual. The food will be chef driven, locally sourced, New England and internationally themed cuisine, and it will be open to the public and often used as for functions and events. The applicant has a strong character and fitness to hold a license. They run the One World Observatory in New York City, the Aeon Center in Chicago, and the Skyview Observatory in Seattle, as well as the AT&T Stadium in Dallas and SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, among more than 40 other locations that they handle. The applicant and affiliates hold dozens of liquor licenses in the US and have a great record of compliance. Every server of alcohol will be tips trained. We have a written ID policy. Every person who orders a drink, regardless of age, will be ID'd. There is a true drink maximum per transaction. And employees are well aware that discipline can include immediate termination for any violation of the alcohol policy. We have a closed circuit TV system, and we have hired Northeast Security as our security service. They're the same company that provides security in the Prudential Center as a whole. Access will be restricted because you have to go up to the 50th floor by elevator, and the attendants control the elevator. So they have eyes on every single person that comes in, and they control the elevator through an iPad. Patrons can't press the buttons themselves. They have to talk to the attendant in order to get in and to get out. We believe there's a public need for a license at this location. Top of the Prue is a longtime destination for residents and tourists. It closed in April 2020. We are planning to reopen this summer. 600,000 guests are expected annually. We will hire 50 salaried full-time employees and 300 part-time. This is a big economic and customer driver and taxpayer at the Prudential Center and on the Boylston Street area. And we're happy to be getting it open. The cost of the build out is in the tens of millions, and it should be completed fairly soon. As I said, this is formerly the top of the hub, so we believe to some extent the public need for a license at this location is already established, but we have reached out to both the Neighborhood Association of the Back Bay and the Mayor's Office, and they have recognized that this is an established and desirable use deep within the Prudential Center and have waived any meetings. That being said, we are on a fast track to open, and in the event that the ABCC does not process this application in a timely manner, we would also like to request a temporary CV. All that being said, Justin and I are here, and we'd be glad to answer any further questions.
Thank you, Attorney Upton. Chairman Joyce, any questions?
Thank you, Attorney Upton. Thank you for joining us, Justin. I have no questions.
Commissioner Curran?
None for me, thank you.
None for me either. Thanks.
Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of this board. As you heard from the applicant's representation, no civic associations in that particular area claim catchment for where the proposed business would lie. Our office is unaware of any concerns at this time. Thank you.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Ana Calderon from Council President Flink's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Calling item 25, Long Live Roxbury Inc., doing business as Long Live Beer Works, located at 152 Hampden Street in Roxbury. Has applied for a farmer brewery malt beverages only pouring license to be exercised on the above. For facility with 2 exits, taproom and brewery are separated by a masonry wall. Taproom contains 1 room with 2 grades. Higher grade is accessible via stairs and elevator. There are 5 accessible bathrooms. Taproom is approximately 3,625 square feet. Brewery contains 1 major room, mechanical room, and small office. Brewery is approximately 2,500 square feet. Manager Christy Lee Martin, closing time 2 a.m. Attorney Tom Miller. Attorney Miller.
Good morning, Chairwoman Joyce, Commissioners, Danny, Tom Miller from McDermott, Quilty & Miller, representing Long Live Roxbury Inc. In their application for this pouring permit. I'm joined today by Armando Dodona and Jessica DeBry, as well as the proposed manager of record, Christy Martin. By way of background, Long Live is a brewery that started in Providence about 7 years ago, and they have been growing ever since. They have during that time, developed a knowledgeable team with a history of operating a successful tap room in their Providence location. Long Live has applied for this pouring permit for the brewery at 152 Hamden Street. By way of background, this location has been a brewery with a pouring permit for more than 6 years, with a couple previous tenants. The pouring permit will allow Long Live to not only offer their beer for their customers, but to allow them to foster a fun and energetic space for those customers and members of the community to gather and enjoy a conversation with a beer that the applicants have worked very hard on creating. Long Live is not proposing any major renovations to the space. They're just refreshing and updating it for their operation. The seating, there'll be seating for 124 individuals, and the proposed hours of operation are 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. 7 days a week. As I said, I'm joined by Christy Martin, the proposed manager. Christy is a U.S. citizen. She has experience in the food and beverage industry. She is familiar with the laws of the Commonwealth, the rules of the ABCC, and the board for the sale and service of alcohol. She is a Mass resident living in Rehoboth. She has extensive experience in the food and beverage industry, including most recently, she has been a shift leader at Long Live's Providence Tap Room for almost 6 years. The applicant has reached out to neighbors and the surrounding community both with ONS and on their own. During that outreach, we have heard no opposition to this project, and it has resulted in multiple letters of support that we have provided to the board from both local residents and neighborhood associations. We want to thank you for hearing this application today and be happy to answer any questions you have.
Thank you, Attorney Miller. Chairwoman Joyce, any questions?
Thank you, Attorney Miller, and thank you, Christy, for joining us today. I don't have any questions at this time.
Commissioner Kern, any questions?
None for me, thank you.
Commissioner Saxon?
None.
Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Keisha Santana from the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, we would like to defer the judgment to the board. The applicant has flyered and we held an abutters meeting where folks in attendance did provide support. I did receive a few notices from a few abutters with concerns about noise levels with the previous owner. So they just want the new owners to be mindful of the noise for surrounding abutters. But other than that, no other concerns brought to our office. And at this time, we'd like to defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter?
Lorraine Payne Wheeler, representing District 7 City Councilor Tanya Fernandez Anderson. The councilor would like to go on record in support.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling items 26 and 27. Castle Island C2H LLC doing business as Castle Island Brewing Company located at 10 Old Colony Ave in South Boston has applied for a farmer winery pouring license and a combined 19H farmer winery and brewery pouring license to be exercised on the above in one large room on a ground floor with bar seating areas, retail area, kitchen and storage space all together as the tasting room as shown on a plan filed with the board. Annual outdoor patio on private property, 1,915 square feet with 10 p.m. closing hour and 39 seats. Restrooms in another large room on ground floor with tasting bar and private event seating areas, together with brewing equipment and storage in large room all together as the event and brew areas as shown on plan on file with the board. Manager Adam Romanow, closing time 12 a.m. Attorney Dennis Quilty. Attorney Quilty.
Good morning again, Attorney Green, Madam Chair, members of the board. Dennis Quilty, attorney representing the applicant. With us this morning is Adam Romanoff, who's the manager of record and the owner operator, and Lauren Horgan, who's the Director of Regulatory Affairs for the Castle Island Brewery. This is an existing, well-supported business in the South Boston neighborhood, applying to add to its farmer brewery license, which is obviously already approved by this board, to add a farmer winery pouring license, and then to connect the farmer winery and brewery in a 19H combination. Other than that, there are no changes to the business structure. The brewery and hopefully winery will continue to operate as it has in the past. We are well supported in the neighborhood. The West Broadway Neighborhood Association, I believe, has a letter of support on file. We were not required to do an abutters meeting by ONS. And we did communicate the application to the Office of District City Councilor Flynn. We believe there are no objections as we are here before you today. We're certainly happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Attorney Quilty. Chairwoman Joyce, do you have any questions?
Thank you. No questions. Appreciate all that information.
Thank you, Commissioner Curran.
No questions for me, thank you.
Commissioner Saxon.
None for me, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. I'm Anna White with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. Castle Island Brewery presented to the Andrews Square Civic Association about these new licenses in September of 2022. Andrews Square Civic unanimously supports the granting of these licenses. At this time, we'd like to defer to the judgment of the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Council President Flynn's office. The councilor would like to go on record in support. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Calling item number 28, Dan Food Service Corp. doing business as Gachi Sushi and Noodles, located at 1 Harborside Drive in East Boston, has applied for an airport common victular 7-day all alcoholic beverages license to be exercised on the above. Gachi Sushi and Noodles is located at Boston Logan Airport Terminal C, space CB2A10C, 917 square feet, 1 floor, post security gate, no outdoor area. It's a private seating restaurant, not a food court or part of a food court. Has a sushi counter with some bar stools and sushi chef making sushi behind the front counter, and also some tables with chairs for 27 at the dining room. Manager Helena Germesa, closing time 10 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Ines Setiabudi. I'm the president of Dan Food Service Corporation, and I'm here with Mr. Daniel Kurniawan, who is the VP of the company.
Morning.
Oh, I'm sure manager of record Helena Gurmesa also somewhere in the room.
Hi, right here.
Good morning. Yes, we see you. If you could just please briefly present the concept to the board.
Yes, so Gachi Sushi and Noodles will be located next to Pot Valley, across from Miha Cantina, inside Terminal C, post-security area of JetBlue Airways. Construction will start sometime next month and hopefully open in June or July. And then we're going to offer sushi, nigiri, sashimi, ramen, poke bowl, as well as beer, wine, sake, and cocktail cans. We have experience doing gachi sushi noodles also inside Philadelphia Airport in Pennsylvania since 2018. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman Joyce. Any questions?
Thank you very much for joining us. Ms. Gramesa, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name incorrectly. Are you a citizen?
Yes.
Are you a resident of Massachusetts?
Yes.
What is your experience in the food and beverage industry?
Yeah, so I worked at Boston Harbor Cruises at one of the food stations under the managers. So my responsibility was basically opening and closing. So I'll be in charge of the money. And we served foods like lobster rolls, hot dogs, and nachos, soft drinks. But if people did want like liquor and stuff, we had a bar connected to the food station, so they could just go on next door.
Okay. And are you familiar with the rules and regulations of this board, the ABCC, and the laws of the Commonwealth as they pertain to the sale and service of alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Those are all my questions. Commissioners?
No questions for me, thank you.
None for me, thanks.
Thank you. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives? Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And calling item 29, Kura Sushi USA, Inc., doing business as Kura Revolving Sushi Bar, located at 39A District Ave in Dorchester, has applied for a common victular 7-day wines and malt beverages license to be exercised on the above. 3,120 square feet gross area, interior dining only. The indoor dining area will measure approximately 1,271 square feet with 88 seats. There is no bar seating at the location. Premise will be equipped with an on-site kitchen. Manager Rashad Johnson, closing time 10 p.m. Who is present on behalf of the applicant?
I'm here. Good morning, Tyler Hensler, local counsel for the applicant.
from Upton, Connell, and Devlin. I believe Krista is here that is going to give the presentation this morning. Krista?
Yes, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
All right, good morning, thank you. My name is Krista Garitano. I'm a licensing consultant on behalf of the applicant Kura Sushi USA Inc. The applicant is requesting a common Victor 7-day wines and malt beverage license located at 39A District Avenue in Dorchester. The applicant Kura Sushi USA Inc. is an international company originating in Japan in 1977 with more than 40 locations throughout the United States. As a result, the character and fitness of this applicant is very strong. Each of their locations, including one in Watertown, Massachusetts, are licensed and permitted to sell alcoholic beverages for on-site consumption, making them well-versed in the rules and regulations of each jurisdiction they do business in. None of their locations have had any disciplinary or regulatory violations while operating. The restaurant will be known as Kura Revolving Sushi Bar and specializes in Japanese cuisine with a focus on sushi. Kura Sushi is the pioneer of the revolving sushi bar concept, where dishes are offered to their customers on a rotating conveyor belt. The restaurant will be a great addition to the South Bay Dorchester area, fulfilling a public need with its unique concept. Additionally, the landlord feels that Kura Sushi will be a good fit for the South Bay's limited number of licenses that are granted for the area. During the process, we conducted community outreach to discuss our project. We met with the McCormick Civic Association, and they gave their support of the license and submitted a letter of support on behalf of the association. We also reached out to the mayor's office, who had no objections to the license and waived the need for an additional butters meeting. Joining me today is Kura Sushi's corporate representative, Nicole Arai, real estate development assistant, the local counsel from Upton, Connell, and Devlin, and the elected manager of record, Rashad Johnson, who is both a U.S. citizen and a resident of the Commonwealth. Rashad has had many years' experience in the food and beverage industry leading up to this position. He's also very familiar with the rules and regulations of the City of Boston Licensing Board, as well as the ABCC. We are all here happy to answer any questions you may have and respectfully request your support and approval of the license.
Thank you very much, Ms. Garitano. Chairwoman Joyce, any questions of the applicant?
Thank you, Ms. Garitano, and thank you, Mr. Johnson, for joining us. At this time, I have no questions about this application. Commissioner Curran or Commissioner Saxon?
I have no questions. Thank you.
None from me, thanks.
Thank you very much. Are there any individuals who would like to testify on this matter, beginning with elected officials or their representatives?
Howdy, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Ross Cochran with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed their community process with the abutters and the community being notified and in support. At this time, we'd like to defer to the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals who would like to testify on this matter? Seeing none, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you very much. That is the last item on this morning's agenda. That will adjourn this morning's hearing. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.